guys, I am bringing you a video to try and teach you how to meal prep today. So congratulations, you just bought a challenge pack. Now you need to know what to eat. So you have an eating plan that comes with every program that you can purchase with BeachBody. So you'll find out what amount of containers that you can have per day. That's where you start. Then you read through what each container contains, so the food list. Get to know it, let it become your friend, and have that in the back of your head. When I first started doing these meal plans, I would just plan the night before on a scrap piece of paper, and it worked good for a while until I came home late from work and I was starving and didn't have anything prepped. So I started prepping for a week or two at a time, and that helped my results tremendously, and it made me feel better. So what I do is I pick 2 to 3 recipes that I'm going to bulk make. And I go to the grocery store, get all the ingredients for it, and spend an hour to 2 on like Sunday usually, and cook all of it, and I'll be set for 2 weeks. So today I have our fried chicken recipe with panko, and I always get the gluten-free, and I get the chicken tenderloins. It's just easier than the breast, it's already sliced for you. Our turkey meatloaf, and I always get the gluten-free old-fashioned rolled oats. Any salsa, pepper, onion, eggs. For the ground turkey, I like the 93% lean. The 91's a little fatty, and then the 99's just not edible. And lastly, I have the curry chicken stuffed sweet potato. This is one of my favorites. I make it every time I meal prep. It's so easy. So I hope you like that one a lot. Then also I have some raw vegetables that I'll just roast, and I can add those on to any of the meals as a veggie or grab it as a snack. So first, what I do when I meal prep, I get all of my ingredients together, and then I look and see what takes the most time. So I know that the sweet potatoes will take the longest, so I'll go ahead and prep those and get those in the oven. Okay, so once I wash all the sweet potatoes, I wrap them in foil and throw them in the oven between 375 and 400 for 40 minutes or until they're soft. The temperature ranges depending on what else I'm cooking. I adjust the time to fit everything else, so I don't have to wait and stagger all the cook times. I can throw them all in the oven together. So after the sweet potatoes are in the oven, I look at the remaining food that I have left. This chicken cooks in about 30 minutes, the fried chicken. The curry chicken cooks in about 10 minutes. So next, and then the turkey takes about 40 minutes. So next I will move to my turkey, and it is so easy. All we're gonna do is chop up our onion and our pepper and mix, literally just throw everything in a bowl, mix it together, and then we'll form a patty on a baking sheet and throw it in the oven with the sweet potatoes. I like mine to be spread out, cooks faster, tastes the same. So there's that. And then while I was prepping that, I also prepped some Brussels sprouts. Pretty much for all of my raw vegetables, I do the same thing when I roast them. I cut them up, throw a dash of olive oil on them, just enough to get them moist, and then coat them in pepper. Typically, for the Brussels sprouts and the asparagus, I will cover them with foil for the first 30 minutes and then uncover them for the last 15. And that is literally it for all of the vegetables. I'll do Brussels sprouts, asparagus, I'll do red peppers and onions, broccoli, cauliflower. I do it all the same way. And then when I don't do them fresh roasted, I will love my steamables. They're great, fresh vegetables, easy, 5 minutes. So we'll get these in the oven. So moving on, we'll move on to the fried chicken meal. So I already have my 2 eggs in a bowl. I'm going to add my Worcestershire sauce and then my hot sauce. And it's one of these tablespoons. And 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. You can go a little more with the hot sauce. It is a freebie if you like things a little warmer. So these tenderloins are really easy to work with. You can just throw a couple in each bowl at a time. I lightly coat mine in panko. I don't like it too much breading because I like to save my yellows as sparingly as possible. And that is it. Literally so easy. Just throw it together, throw it in the oven. Take a look at all the meals we got going. Our sweet potatoes, our Brussels sprouts, our meatloaf, and now our fried chicken. The last thing that we have to prep is our chicken that goes in our stuffed sweet potatoes. So what I do is just get the chicken breast, dice it up, throw it in a pan. The recipe calls for olive oil. I like to use coconut oil. It adds even a little extra taste to the recipe. So we just got all the chicken chopped up and I got my coconut oil in here. So that's starting to simmer. And like I said, when the cooking gets halfway cooked, I will add my black beans and my curry seasoning, and then I'll maybe a little black pepper, and then my cilantro will go in last. So in 30-40 minutes, I prepped 3 meals. I'll continue to cook this and stir it, and while that's going, I'll do the dishes, and it'll all be done within an hour. And we'll check back in when things are coming out of the oven. Alright, so the chicken is done, and how I tell is I use a wooden spoon and cut it and double check the inside. It's all nice and white. So while the sweet potatoes are still cooking, I will just set this aside and let it cool to room temperature. The things are coming out of the oven. Our chicken's done. I always have to cut them in half to make sure. Brussels sprouts are done. They got nice and toasted on top. And our turkey looks done as well. We'll go ahead and pull it out. So that's 2 pounds of turkey. So I'll divide that into 8 meals. And I'll pair it with either the Brussels sprouts or steamed vegetable. Make it nice and easy to have a red and a green for lunch. Same thing with the fried chicken. This was a little over a pound, so there's going to be 5 servings here. I'll just divide them up and make each container 1 red, and then I'll add a green to it.
Outtakes.
This fried chicken is so good. It really does taste like fried chicken. Plating these, one thing I know I keep telling you that we're going to add a green. I always measure my vegetables and never eyeball that. With the protein, with the chicken and the ground beef or ground turkey, you can always figure it out based on how much the package weighs. You can't do that so much with the vegetables. So every time I plate a vegetable, I use my portion container, and that is 1 green, and that's what it looks like in my lunch container. And while I'm doing this, I'll have a couple different vegetables ready, and I'll just go back and forth and mix all my meals up and add some variety with my vegetable. And another thing you can do is, while you're plating all these, if you run out of vegetables, just throw a steamable in, you'll have it ready in 5 minutes. So once your sweet potatoes are done, I do have to use the measuring cup for my red protein when I slice up all the chicken. So for this recipe, I do use the red measuring cup for my portion. So I'll just get my 1 red of my protein, put it on top, and if you have a little extra cilantro, you can garnish with that. Because this is a double carb, so there's 2 yellows here. You have your yams and your black beans. I typically do not add a vegetable to this, but you are welcome to. So I'll save that vegetable for a snack. So in an hour and a half, we prepped, let's see, there's 8 here. We prepped 16 meals. So that is plenty. You don't have to do that much. You could definitely cut it down. You could reduce the recipes. If you want to keep them fresh, you can keep them in the fridge for 5 to 7 days, or you can freeze them. You can get little containers on Amazon or a grocery store, freezer safe, microwave safe, dishwasher safe. I don't do that. I just use what's in my cabinet, but you are welcome to do that. So when you're planning, you know what each of these recipes are as your containers, like 1 red, 1 yellow. So when you go to plan out your week, go ahead and plan out each day and know exactly what you're going to eat. For breakfast, I like to eat eggs. I don't mind eating them every single day. I can scramble them, I can fry them, poach them. If I know I'm not going to eat a carb for lunch, I'll eat it on a piece of toast. Or I can even have a bowl of oatmeal or the overnight oats. There's so many options. Just plan it so you get the exact number of containers and you know exactly when your snacks are going to be. I like to use fruit for my snacks. It's easy for me. And then I always use my Shakeology as a snack, and it is my mid-morning snack, and then I use my fruits in my afternoons. You do it however you want, but I do recommend planning each day, planning out your week. That way you're not coming up at 3 o'clock, I am starving, I have nothing to eat, and then you go for the bag of cookies, because it happens. If you're doing 21-day fix, you have 2 cheats a week. You have a wine or a chocolate cheat that you can use. You can use both wines on one night. Save it up for a Friday night, right? It does count as a yellow, so keep those in store for that day. So for that day, you want to, limit your lunches and your breakfasts and not use your carbs, and save them for that night. Have fun with it, make it your own, and let me know if you have any questions. One thing I did forget to mention is usually just the way everyone was raised, our carbs, our yellow portions are what we go overboard on. So try and plan your day around when you want to have your yellows. The rest will just come in naturally. They're easy to fit in. I used to think greens were hard to fit in. They're not anymore. I make steamed vegetables, roasted vegetables. I am not a salad person. You are welcome to do salads, or even add spinach into your Shakeology. And this is a huge change for most people, changing the way we eat. I've been doing it 1.5 years. It's the only way I know how to eat anymore. It makes me feel good, it gives me energy. But I know it is a big change for everyone. It is almost 0 sugar, and a lot less alcohol than I was consuming previously. So if you feel like you are starving, I suggest adding another red to hold you over. So another protein, you can add another Shakeology, you can add some more chicken, some eggs, keep some hard-boiled eggs around. Those are good for a little protein boost. And another way you could be feeling is completely drained, just like wiped out, like I have no energy. If that's the case, you're probably having sugar withdrawal. So what you can do is add another purple. So add another fruit to give you a little bit extra sugar for that period of time. Don't do it every day, only do it when you absolutely need to, but keep those in mind.